we work with a lot of club organizations that, because, you know, there's no database administrator, there's no Salesforce admin, but somebody becomes, to John's point, somebody becomes really skilled in that area. I will say, kind of, you know, on the flip side, what we are seeing in our movement is a lot of new opportunity for people who don't have a traditional technology background to really grow themselves professionally. I know that happened for myself, it happened for our team. And so I do think that's one really cool thing that's come out of how nonprofits, it's a double-edged sword, of course, but like how nonprofits have approached this is there's a lot of us who really found a love for technology and how it can work in the space that have been able to, especially with a product like Salesforce that has so much organic training opportunity, that have been able to really grow into that space. And it in a world where there isn't always a very easy career ladder or very much opportunity or room for growth, I think it's given a lot of nonprofit professionals who want to seriously pursue it, those opportunities. So I think as we move forward, I would love to see that piece of the grassroots part of nonprofit technology continue, with more of that dedicated, intentional focus on really making technology a partner, and really giving technologists the equal seat at the table.
I love that. I'm going to skip to my third question because that really transitions nicely. Jackie, I mean, everything you read in the news, everything we see today front and center is about how it's really hard to not just attract new staff. I mean, everybody is hiring, every one of us, but also retaining that staff and trying to make sure that people are happy in their organization. And as a nonprofit, salaries have become very competitive as well, which is, you know, difficult as a technology leader. So we hear this term coming up a lot more than I have in previous years, and it's upskilling. And that's exactly, Jackie, a little bit around what you were talking about. So tell us a bit about how each of you view the idea of upskilling within your organizations as, you know, probably not just a retention tool, but maybe a new recruitment tool as well.
I'm sorry, go ahead, whoever spoke.
No, I was going to hand it to you, Matt. Go for it.
You know, I think all of us have really complex mixes of programs and services. And it's, in some respects, fairly easy to hire someone off the street that's an expert in, say, Salesforce or even perhaps Traction Rec. But the institutional knowledge side of it is huge. So having the ability to take somebody that already knows how you do things, the way you do things, what different programs and services you have, and then upskill, train them to be able to do it in the new system is, I find, huge, and something we're working on right now. As far as retention goes, there's nothing wrong with saying this training will help you in the future, even at a different job. This will help you find a new job. We want to mentor our staff and help them on their career, and that does not mean locking them in the door and not letting them leave. So being upfront about the fact that we're going to help them learn skills that will help them elsewhere is, I find, beneficial for retention.
Yeah, I think that's huge, Matt. I think the other thing our team focuses a lot on is diversity, or the lack thereof, in the technology world. I mean, I think the fact that Lara is on this call, I love, because I mean, it is all too rare still, and inspiring to see females in CEO positions at technology corporations. And it's one of the things that our team really thrives on as well, is to really you know, help upskill and develop a really diverse group of individuals with technology skills, so that we, you know, we're really changing the landscape of who technologists are as well.
You know, we've had a really interesting opportunity to focus on skills in IT. I have to say, in San Diego, I've been pretty blessed to grow the team that I have, and to have the size team I have, you know, to serve this organization. But one of the opportunities to really focus on kind of building our own incubator for tech people was to actually make this the first tech job that people would actually have. So we have certain positions within IT, and this is really just speaking to the IT side, where they come in, they work in help desk. You know, we have a path for them. You know, we have a skill set that we're really trying to move them through, and then we have opportunities at other levels within the IT team after they spend some time, you know, kind of at the beginning. I think the cool opportunity in that is that we're kind of serving our own mission, by helping people get, a great skill. They work at the Y. But I think one of the other, things in this space is that, the new work methodology is really digital first, and but it's meaningless if it's not kind of anchored in people. And I think the thing that Matt said that is really important is that the best people to upskill are those people that you already have, those that really understand your business, they understand your mission, they're connected, they're committed, they're bought in. I think that we find internally that those are the ones that we really try to invest in when it comes to to raising skills.
A couple points, all great points. But one thing I would add, recruiting lately, is that we're also competing with a desire to have a very agile and flexible lifestyle and not be stuck, within organization. And it is a strong desire, if you will. It's something that, for many people in tech is very, very important to them. So the whole thread that's running here, where if you're able to draw from within the organization and develop and help a person make a meaningful improvement in their career with something they do, well, that's just plain wonderful. And to the extent that it supports your organization values, and as it should, it's even better. But one last piece I'll add is it's also becomes an interesting aspect of strategy and and decision making, where on the home stretch, as you're thinking about product selection and platform selection, and you're thinking about resource availability, to me, that ability to upskill in an area that will be highly desirable and where training is highly available, is really a feather in the cap of the right decision. And certainly in this platform, we see that in the organizations I've worked for. I've had tremendous success, as has been described. I think Matt describes it, and having someone promote from a help desk to ultimately become a well-versed administrator and developer with all kinds of flexibility from a career perspective. So it's an important part, and it really provides a nice opportunity from a leadership perspective to develop from within and to foster growth in the organization.